Deanna Maurice, weekly craft and lifestyle content. Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me today to see exactly how I create my stencils. I'm going to share with you guys the supply list, and the majority of these items I picked up from Michael's, excluding the contact paper, which I picked up at Walmart. You will need a wooden plaque. This one is 5x7, as well as clear contact paper, as well as the contact paper that you cannot see through. 2 different types of paint that are contrasting. I use regular acrylic paint as well as chalk paint, a sponge brush, and a normal painting brush. The first thing that you're going to do is give your wooden plaque 2 layers of your base coat, whichever color that you've decided to go with. In this case, I've chosen to use white paint. So I had to give it 2 coats of paint. And so I'm painting it first because obviously you want to allow your paint to dry. And meanwhile it's drying, you can be working on your stencil and getting other things lined up. Okay, let's jump into Photoshop so that I can teach you how to create the stencil. First, you're going to want to type out your quote. In this case, I will be working with the quote that says, "Presume goodwill." Now, my plaque that I'm going to be adhering this to is for about 4x6. So I'm then going to create a black rectangle. It could be whichever color that you want, but I do like to work in black and white, behind your text. Okay, now I'm going to make sure that my text layer is on top and is in white so that it is visible. Now I'm just going to skew it down to size to make sure that it fits within the boundaries of the black rectangular box. I'd like my image to be centered, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and hit the center button so that it'll be lined up nicely. And you can go ahead and mess around with your font. Okay, this is the most important part to make the stencil. On your text layer, you're going to click the actual T along with the command sign. Once you do that, it will create marching ants. Go to the top where it says layer and drop down to layer mask and hit hide selection. Once you hide your selection, on the right side of your black rectangle box, you'll see another little box pop up. Go ahead and make your original text layer non-visible, and then go ahead and make your background layer non-visible. At this point, you will see that the images have been cut through, and you want to go ahead and save this file as a PNG. Then you can go ahead and upload it to Cricut Design Space. And I just showed you guys a close-up to show you that all of the words have been cut through on Cricut Design Space because we're seeing the grid in the back, and that is exactly what we want. Remember to save your image as a cut image, right? Make sure to cut your contact paper out on the vinyl setting so the blade won't cut all the way through the contact paper. At this point, we're going to weed out our image. And think of it as if you're doing a vinyl project. Only thing, we're going to weed out the opposite. So we're going to weed out the pieces that we actually want to see once we paint over our stencil. Hey there, just a quick reminder, if you want to join the crew, go ahead and hit the subscription button, as well as give this video a big thumbs up if you are enjoying it. And last but not least, click the bell so you can be notified each and every time I upload. Okay, moving on to our clear contact paper. In this case, we're going to be using it as transfer paper. Go ahead and cut a piece off and stick it to a surface a few times, such as your countertop or your jeans, because when using contact paper, it can sometimes be a little too sticky with using it as your transfer tape. At this point, I realized that I forgot to weed out an E, so that's what I'm doing here. And then I'm going to use the contact paper and apply it smoothly over the top of my stencil. You want to make sure that it's nice and smooth so that you don't have any air bubbles when you go to adhere it to your wood plaque, so that when you paint, you'll have nice and smooth lines because your stencil was adhered nicely. Okay, now we're going to remove everything all at once off of our mat. Flip your image over and use your tool, your scraper tool, to go ahead and then press out any bubbles that you may be getting from the back. Separate the clear contact paper along with your stencil away from the backing. Okay, now we're going to take our transfer tape along with our stencil and place it down on top of our plaque. The nice thing with this is you will have some opportunity to move it around to make sure that you get it centered exactly where you want it to be before you move on to the next step. So you'll see me here, I put it down a little bit and then I pick it up, and then I don't firmly press it down until it is exactly where I want it to be. Go in with your contrasting color of paint. In this case, mine is black, and you're going to want to dab your paint over lightly. And you're going to want to dab straight up and down, because if you go over it from left to right, kind of swiping as if you were painting a wall or something like that, then you risk the chance of getting paint underneath your stencil. This is what it looks like when it's dried after 2 coats. Now that it's fully dried, we're going to remove our stencil off of the top, nice and slow. And as you guys can see here, we are coming out with nice straight edges. This is like the part of the project where you feel like you've gotten a present and you're so excited. It's nerve-wracking and it's exciting at the same time because you're hoping that nothing seeped under and that your application went well. And then when you peel off everything and it's nice and pretty the way that you want it to be, it is so rewarding. If you wanted, this could be the end of the project. You very well could just give this to someone as a gift like this, or go ahead and put it on a stand like I did. But to jazz it up, because it was a gift for a woman, I decided to add a few paper flowers on the side of the plaque. I got these images off of Cricut Design Space, and I just cut them out in a few different sizes to allow me to create a cascade, a small cascade of flowers going down the side of the plaque. If you would like to get this file, I will leave information to it down in the description box if you'd like to go over to Cricut Design Space and purchase it. Once it is cut out, you just want to take it and roll it really small. So the first little piece, I make sure that I fold it in half, and then I just start rolling using my pointer finger as well as my thumb to kind of keep it flush on either side. And then you're just gonna roll and roll and roll until you get to the end. Once you get to the end of the flower, there should be one little round, it's not really a petal, but like a little round piece of paper that looks like a tab left behind. What you're going to do is take your glue gun and put a dab of glue on the base of the flower. I don't like to really put it on the extra little piece. I like to put it on the base of the flower so that all of your rolls of paper are getting some glue attached to it. And then you're just going to flip over that little tab, and once you do that, there goes your flower. Now I'm going to take an easel that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to use hot glue to adhere my plaque to it. I was making this for someone to go into their office, so I thought that this little easel would be a cute way of displaying the plaque. And at this point, I'm just going to hot glue the flowers directly onto the plaque. Make sure that you put a generous amount of hot glue onto it because you want to make sure that it stays in place. And then I'm just basically laying it out exactly the way that I want it to be. And this is the end of the project, and I really hope that you guys enjoyed it, and I hope that you guys will be back tomorrow for another vlog or tutorial that is a part of my 25 days until Christmas series. You guys stay blessed and have a wonderful day. Bye.